No, I can't hear. No. Yeah, can you hear me?
The time has arrived for the big ones. We are into the Cup semi-finals of the Rugby Afrique Sevens tournament of 2019. It's going down right here at Bosman Stadium in Brakpan, and we've had some exhilarating rugby already today. The one let down perhaps the match just gone by, where Botswana did not pitch up whatsoever against Mauritius and were down by 31 points to 0, therefore picking up the wooden spoon. Besides that, we have seen rich entertainment from sides from all four corners of this fine continent. And now, the first of two Cup semi-finals. Who will go on to compete for the crown this year? Who is going to have a chance to be able to book their ticket to Tokyo 2020 Olympics? Up it goes from Uganda. Will it cross the 10-meter line? Not at all. Slapped back onto their side, wisely so, making sure the game didn't get out of control, perhaps bounce in the favor of Zimbabwe, presenting them with an easy opportunity. This far more formalized in terms of Uganda's prospects to make sure that Zimbabwe must start from the halfway line and everything is organized. They have their sweeper in place. Two quality sevens outfits. Keep your eyes peeled. And just as I say that, the pass goes errantly away, but breaking down the center straight after that, Hilton Mudariki, pardon me.
High grasp. Sorry, no, it's me. Number 11, please. Yeah, on me. Thank you. Let's go.
Zimbabwe taking their time about things. Stephen Nduza. Power running in the center field by Njabula Ndlovu. It's Nduza who gets it away from the base again. Here's O'Neill. Gitok Windo. Uganda marshalling Zimbabwe early on. Very much a chess match between these two sides, trying to work the defenders around the field.
It's on you.
Njabula Ndlovu, important power runner for Zimbabwe.
Offside.
One of many.
Number 2.
Offside line breached by Uganda. See how Zimbabwe do not even crack into a jug as the penalty is awarded. Nobody is trying to take this quickly. They're planning to slow it down. And I would assume they're planning to use their physical superiority over this Uganda side. Run it into their faces, use their bench as well. But this Uganda side are no mugs themselves. They're very big, tall, strong players on in their side as well. Again, moving forward, Njabula Ndlovu. And wide it goes now from Hunduza. On the outside with too many defenders surely to beat, trying the pony step. Gitok Wondo, who gets past. And now he does get the ball away for Hunduza. And Hunduza spreads it. There's a man on the outside. Just need to fire that pass wide. And here they come. Zimbabwe, they're surely in the corner. No, not even the corner. Over the line and closer to the posts. Brilliantly worked. One player had to sacrifice the body to take an absolutely colossal hit. And that sacrifice was made. And Zimbabwe crossed the line for the opening score of semi-final number 1. Uganda looking solid on defense, but eventually undone by the patience and the quality of Zimbabwe. They managed to break the line, commit one extra defender, and they found that space on the outside. And that's the difference between class and quality. Fine attempt at the conversion. It's low, flat, and hard, but unfortunately for Zimbabwe, it has drifted out to the left of the posts. The flags remain down. The scoreline remains at 5 points to 0. Ready for the restart. Hilton Mudariki. Multiple Ugandan players arriving underneath to put that back, but Zimbabwe got there first. Unlucky not to get a solid hand to the ball, and now breaking straight up the center and moving the ball outstandingly well. It was Kevin Karmunda with the steps. Just could not connect with the man on the outside, Philip Wokorach. Wokorach all the way to the line. Oh, he's got the goods, the number 5 for Uganda, and Zimbabwe will be stunned by that. There's some serious talent in this Ugandan side, and they clearly have the patience to wait for their turn as well. Unperturbed by the opening score from Zimbabwe. Came back with some flavor of their own, and the number 4, Kevin Karmunda, is the one to keep your eye on. He starts all good things for Uganda. short in stature. He really can get things moving, much like a Branko Dupré for the Blitzboks. Of course, Branko far more girthy than Kevin Kermunda. Solid unit. Restart from Aaron.
Backwards! Away, white away.
Penalty comes the way of Uganda. This is not great news for Zimbabwe, who now, after conceding that try, will have to continue defending their line. It's 7 points to 5 as the Ugandan conversion was successful. Adrian Kasito on the switch play to Aaron Ofiroth. Zimbabwe all of a sudden under pressure. Look at the power in the maul situation, raising that man from the ground, ensuring that the possession will be coming back a Zimbabwean way. Referees in 7-a-sides encouraged to let the players try to rip the ball. They don't like to call the scrums unless they have to. When there's all these players standing around, it is a very strange directive, but it's a very easy way to gain possession in sevens if you just allow your players to stand up and then do not attempt to actually complete the tackle. And you see what happens in the end. The penalty ends up coming the way of Uganda because the Zimbabwean players would not release and roll away. Forced to work and try to win that ball back and not just wait for the penalty. Now working it to the outside, capitalizing on the missing numbers from Zimbabwe. Sucked into that contact point, committed too much energy. The referee's call went against them. Uganda spread it wide and Pius Ogena scores in the corner. One of the favorites for this competition are now trailing in the first half. The reigning champions Zimbabwe have plenty of thinking to do.
White, please. White.
All of these players. As that conversion attempt is up and over, you've got to be kidding me! The kick of the day! And he's chucking it off something casual. Absolutely phenomenal. What a boot. We'll have to get a number on the player to confirm. Up it goes from Uganda as they continue to apply the pressure. Has that been touched by a Ugandan hand? No is the call, and Zimbabwe onto the attack. They'll have been rattled by these events. And to confirm, the player that put that remarkable kick over the post is the captain of Uganda, Philip Wokorach. Also the scorer of the first try, so he's not having too bad of a day. But here comes Zimbabwe. What a tackle! Wrapped up the ankles. Halftime hooter's gone, so this is the last chance saloon for Zimbabwe if they want to strike back before the halftime whistle blows. And how crucial it may just turn to be in what looks like it is turning out to be a closely contested match. Zimbabwe trying their darndest to move the ball forward. Hilton Murariki on this occasion. A penalty comes their way. The tap and go from Tafadina Gitokwindo. Straight up the center, the gap is found by Stefan Hunduza. Hunduza has handed it back to an opposition player. And now Uganda may be in the same situation as Zimbabwe were. They must roll away from the ball now. You see the situation that is created by the referees forcing the players to actually rip the ball. O'Neill. Do they have some space to work with on the outside here? None of the Ugandan defense holds up in the face of some strong running. Isak Masagananzia forcing the tackle that time. Zimbabwe with the patience and the ball control here, keeping possession. Can they retain this patience? 3 or 4 defenders attracted to that situation, and now is when you have space to work with on a sevens pitch. Weighing up his options, dummy and go, dominated into touch. Uganda make the turnover. Oh, back heel into touch. That is cool, that is cold, and that is calculated. Kevin Kermunda knocking the ball into touch for Uganda, consolidating that lead which they have, which stands at 14 points to 5. This has got to be a troubling situation for Zimbabwe. Not so much the scoreline, but more the way that Uganda are playing this. like they are the better team, like they are here for the title. Of course, they were back-to-back title winners in 2016 and 2017, and they are back for the main prize. Should they win that, they're going straight to the Olympics. Of course, if they don't, they'll have another chance, because the second and third place teams at this competition have yet another chance to make it to the 2020 Olympics. If you come fourth, your chances are over. So in spite of the fact that these two teams are gunning for the title, they'll know that the most important match, if they are to lose this one, is the third-fourth playoff. Because the person that, or the team rather, that finishes in fourth have 0% chance of going to the Olympics in 2020. And that will be an enormous kick in the teeth for any one of the three teams, any one of the four teams remaining in the cup competition that may have to face that heartbreaking scenario. And to let you know, the other two teams that are remaining in the cup competition in contention to earn that trip to the Tokyo Olympics of 2020. The second semi-final will be contested between Kenya and Madagascar. Kenya looking truly fearsome. Difficult to see any of these teams stopping them, but seven-a-side rugby, of course, anything can happen, especially when teams are evenly matched. And if Uganda can play this way, make it to the final and play this way against Kenya, they might just challenge. Similarly, Zimbabwe, if they can play to their best of their abilities. However, we have seen nothing of the sort from them here in the semi-final, which must be deeply troubling. And in the belting sun, after 2 days of action, in their penultimate match of the weekend, these two sides take up their positions once more. Zimbabwe with it all to do, trailing by 9 points. They have the wind at their backs, although that hasn't meant too much at all in this competition, of course, because ball in hand is key, so running into the wind can almost be more of a benefit. You have just no option. How does Zimbabwe approach the second half? Their physical play, which has worked so well against other sides, has not worked against Uganda. 7 minutes to decide. One of these two sides awaits the final. Brilliantly taken, corkscrewed and secured by Aran Ofirwath. And now working around on the double, trying to find the gap. Zimbabwean players over the ball. It's going to be a penalty advantage to Zimbabwe. No time to waste. The tap and go coming from Connor Pritchard. Pritchard straight into the guts of this Ugandan defense. That's where the power of the Zimbabwean team lies. O'Neill chopped down behind the line. Superb tackle.
No!
Isaac Masaganzina. Power play around the corner from Tapia Tomondo. Crucial big man for this team. O'Neill is spreading it wide, but they're marked up man for man on the outside. Is there a knock?
Advantage.
There is now, and Uganda have the ball back in hand. And now Uganda have the chance to counter-attack. Could be some tired legs. Had the pass. Does get the pass away. Somehow! How did he stay in field? You've got to be kidding me! Philip Wokorach, captain of his nation. He scored one. Now for two. He's put over a phenomenal conversion from the corner on the other end of the field. And he might just be putting his hand up for player of the tournament. Walking it in. Zimbabwe bereft of confidence now, surely, as they have seen Uganda pull clear.
Wait.
Well, what a rugby match this has turned out to be. A turn up for the books. The reigning champions are getting battered, especially so here in the second half. Try as they might for the line, Uganda stopped them, turned the ball over, and immediately went up the field and scored. That's got to be a real gut punch. It's been touched by Zimbabwe as well. It's all going horribly wrong. It is Pritchard on that occasion, one of the better players in this outfit, in the number 2 jersey for Zimbabwe.
What is here?
Tried to catch that one before it crossed the 10-meter line. Got his hands on the ball.
Go fit.
And it was a scrum advantage, which now is a penalty advantage after that breakdown. Oh yeah, numbers on the outside for Uganda. The pass was too strong. Desperately unfortunate, but Zimbabwe looked lost. Tucking in so severely for that one.
When you go,
they left two men from Uganda standing on the outside.
Wait,
Zimbabwe
now?
desperate to take it quickly. Look at the frustration now. However, there has been a
you are
line on
not
call, so they must wait for the opposition to form up.
Thank you.
Now they do get the ball. Not particularly straight, but away we go nonetheless. No numbers on the outside now. They've had to wait for support to arrive. Chatuzina, Kumar Diro. Tap and go from Zimbabwe. They need to up the pace. Running on at pace and hitting is Tapia Tomondo. But the tackle was stellar from Pius Ogena, chopping the man down, or rather it was Ian Munyani. But still, here is Tomondo again. And Tomondo gets the pass away. Man on the outside is one man alone. Biselela Chamala. Chamala is dominated into touch. Great tackle from Pius Ogena. This time it is Pius Ogena. And on defense and attack, there has been only one winner in this match thus far.
Let's go.
And that's decided in black, yellow, and red. As Zimbabwe, now with hands on hips, realize that this match is careening away from them.
If it's not quick, the line-out, we need to. You need to be two players in the. No, at the first time, no, that's why. First time there were only one player.
You thought that you recognized Tapia Tomondo as a South African rugby fan. He plays his rugby domestically for Boland. And you can see he's got that touch of class, also that physicality that South African rugby demands. Even when it's not at the Currie Cup Premier level, which Boland play, of course, in the first division. An outstanding player for them, Tomondo. Of course, Zimbabwe have players scattered all across the globe. And it is their express intent to start pulling those players together to form a pool of players to challenge for a qualifying spot for the next Rugby World Cup of 15s, of course, taking place in France. Oh, look at this in the dead midfield. Is it this big man again? Is it Philip Walker-Rutch? Oh, it looks like him. The captain, courageous. Really didn't need to pass that ball because he had the players completely finished. A class apart. The big number 5 for Uganda, Philip Walker-Rutch. Looked like he was trying to be a nice guy to pass the ball away to one of his teammates to have them run free. Or perhaps he's not too keen on running the full length of the pitch, which he might just have done. Man, he has got these guys on toast. And he will be itching for the final to test his mettle against the likes of Kenya.
Bind. Set.
And it does look like that. It will be the final now. As time is ticking away on Zimbabwe. They need to score, and they need to score real quick. Off the ground, the pop comes, and it is away to the speeding figure of Tafadina Gitokwindo. Gitokwindo! Oh, the window has opened the door, and Gitokwindo dots down under the posts. It's 21 points to 5 before the kick. It could become 21 points to 12, leaving 9 points for Zimbabwe to make up, which surely still is a bridge too far for them. They've struggled desperately to keep pace with Uganda. And the struggle continues. What they need now is perfection and nothing less. Anything but perfection means that Uganda will head to the big prize, the final match, with the opportunity to book their ticket to Tokyo 2020, the Olympic Games, where the gold medal will be on offer. This is it for Zimbabwe. They must score and score again. Up it goes. Well measured, but not quite contestable. Just evading the advancing tackler was Kevin Karmunda.
Stay.
Wonderful effort from Ngoni Chibue. Now working it wide, Gitokwindo. Looking for space, Aaron Ofirwoth. Uganda controlling possession. Zimbabwe all around there, though. Did not commit any players to the breakdown, bar the first, but that was enough to secure the turnover.
9-11, you must play it. You must
from the
play
right spot for the referee.
Thank you.
And now Zimbabwe getting somewhat frantic. Look at that, falling over their own feet to get forward and closer to this Ugandan try line. But this Ugandan defensive line is going to keep sending them backwards, just like that. And here is Tapiwa Tomondo. Tomondo! Oh, baby! Lines up his man and lays him flat.
First man.
On to Piwa Tomondo. He is a force to be reckoned with, but in over the ball are Uganda, and that's what matters more. Who's going to make the turnover that can win the game? Isak Masaganazia stepped up again and kicked into touch. A bunch of heroes. Back-to-back champions from 2016 and 2017. Serious players on Rugby Afrique. They are back into the final once more, and boy do they deserve it. Uganda have shown up Zimbabwe, the reigning champions, in a big way here in the Cup semi-final. Now Zimbabwe